Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Fifer. Served up by Wendy's on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Download the Wendy's app today.
All right, let's get to it. Hour number 2, Steve Sparky Fifer with you as we broadcast live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Charlie Usen, other side of the glass, producing today's show. Coming up this hour, Charlie Sounds of the Day. As always, top 3 sound clips from around the world of sports comes up at 3:40. Got a green and gold update brought to you by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, still to come at 4 o'clock. And again, guest-free today. So lots of segments for you to hop aboard and talk on. If you are new to the show, you've never listened to the show, the idea around the show is we try to talk Brewers, Bucks, and Packers every day. That's the thought. Even if it's for just one segment on one team, we try to get something in on all 3 teams each and every day. The other thought on this show, maybe compared to other shows that you may listen to around the country, we try to switch topics every segment. We try to keep it moving. Once in a while, maybe we'll carry a second segment on a topic, but doing an hour segment on one thing or something like that, or on one topic, no. We're moving, right? So if you don't like this segment, hang around. You'll probably like the next segment. That's how this kind of works. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody that doing things a little bit differently over there at The Fan, the way we do sports talk radio. So a lot has been made of, or a lot is trying to be made of, and they're not getting the push from the media that they want, about owners apparently, according to allegations, people accusing them of getting together to screw over the players, not to give them big guaranteed money. And everybody points to the Deshaun Watson case. And then to contracts that happened after that didn't get nearly as much guaranteed money in their contracts as Deshaun Watson. And they've got, quotes from conversations between owners talking about how, he's going to do what's right for the league and yada. Okay, we went over all this on the show. And as I've stated before, and I will say it again, that's all a bunch of malarkey as far as I'm concerned. Because everybody's trying to do what's best for them. And if you're an NFL owner, what's best for you in a league that does not have fully guaranteed contracts is to not guarantee a ton of money. And then in the most violent sport that we have, a player be done, and now you owe all this money for a guy that can't play. This isn't baseball or basketball. This is a violent sport. Now, you could have the conversation of, well, Sparky, this should be fully guaranteed contracts, and basketball and baseball shouldn't. To which I would say, you're right. You're right. Yes, I agree. 1,000%. You're right. But that's not how it is. I have no issues with owners talking amongst themselves, trying to make sure that things don't get out of hand in this league where all of a sudden all these guys are getting fully guaranteed contracts because they've got to watch out for themselves too. But they're the bad guys. Okay. So now all of a sudden the NFL draft happens. What was the NFL draft? End of April. So all of May, all of June, and training camp starts next week. Next week, Packers training camp, right? 3rd round picks are signed. 4th round picks are signed. 5th round picks are signed. 6th round picks are signed. 7th round picks are signed. Undrafted free agents are signed. 1st round picks outside of Shamar Stewart for the Bengals are signed. But one round, outside of 2 players, one round, the whole damn round isn't signed but the first 2 guys in the round. Everybody else, not signed. Including the Packers and Escalade, right? Including the Packers and Escalade. So when you think about Anthony Belton's situation, this dude was taking 54th overall. 54th overall. There are guys in this round that want full guarantees. Full guarantees. So if you go in the second round and you get a 4-year deal, They want all of it guaranteed going across everything. And our guy who we've had on before, Wendell Ferreira on A to Z Sports, had a really good piece on this. Since 2011, there's been a rookie scale contract model. So the total value and time frame of the deals are predetermined and not subject to significant changes. But that doesn't mean there isn't room for negotiations. Guarantees in general terms like offsets are still on the table. So he goes on to say, over the years, the total value of rookie contracts increases based on the salary cap, but guarantees also tend to increase. So to make this make sense for the Packers, the past two 54th overall picks, in 23 for the Chargers, Tua Pelotu signed a 4-year, $6.57 million contract. 55% of that was fully guaranteed at signing. Last year, Michael Hall Jr., a 4-year, $7 million contract, 61.9% in guarantees. That's a 6.4% in percentage points, but 20.9% in actual guarantees. So that means if we're moving it forward, Belton's deal would have a guarantee of about 68% of his contract. And it should be 4 years, around $8 million if that's the case. So if it's a 68% guarantee, that means he's guaranteed about $5.5 million of the $8 million. So right now, as Ferreira writes, the Packers are fighting for $2.54 million, not in total value, but in terms of guarantees, which is basically the final 2 years of his contract. This is my thing. If we're going to get to the point to where we're talking about fully guaranteeing rookie contracts, that's where we're going to head here, and we're going to try and get this done. Then I show you the NBA, right? They have 2 rounds in the NBA. 2. First round of the NBA draft, fully guaranteed. Second round of the NBA draft, good luck to you. Guaranteed nothing. Let's see what happens. Good luck. So fine. When you get to the next CBA and you have this conversation, then you can have the conversation of, we want the first round guaranteed fully. Fully guaranteed contracts in the first round. Go have that conversation. How about it? Second round, no such luck. I can argue that it's insane to be giving them 68% guaranteed money to begin with in the second round. If they were that good, wouldn't they have gone in the first round if people loved them that much? Right? Here's my question. Are the players colluding like people are accusing the owners of doing? People are accusing the owners of colluding, but yet outside of 2 players, the entire second round, and only the second round, are all holding out together, arm in arm. That doesn't feel like we have agents and people working together? That doesn't feel like people are working behind the scenes together to try and get something done with second round picks? Because to me, it feels like to me, we got a bunch of agents arm in arm here trying to hold serve and stand their ground to get all their guys fully guaranteed money in the second round. And then you want to know what's going to happen? Then they're going to start working on the third round, and then the fourth, and then the fifth. And over the course of time, they're going to try and get all these contracts guaranteed. Then what? Now when that rookie deal comes up and you come in to talk to them, what do you think they're going to say? I want fully guaranteed contract. You just gave me one as a rookie. Now you're going to tell me it's not fully guaranteed in my second contract? No, that ain't how that's going to work. See, this is the way the agents are going to try and get all of these contracts fully guaranteed. And this is a long-term play, right? This is like 5-10 years, but eventually get to that point without having to be in a holdout with the CBA or having to try and change CBA rules. They're going to try and strong-arm the owners together by having an entire second round of players possibly sit out training camp to try and prove their point. But nobody wants to talk about this, about them having any type of collusion, these guys all getting together to screw the owners? Like, that's my thing. If we don't have a problem with them doing this, then don't come at me with, oh, but the owners are trying to save money and God forbid they're screwing the players. But then when the players are trying to screw the owners, well, that's okay. That's fine. Screw the owners. Come on, man. They're both trying to do the same thing. They're both trying to make as much money as they can at the end of the day.
It's no different one to the other. None. No difference, Charlie. None whatsoever. Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee. Sound off with a recorded voice message on the Odyssey app. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily served up by Wendy's. Don't forget we're on YouTube, baby. Live streaming at The Fan Milwaukee. Again, the @ symbol, The Fan Milwaukee. You can see shorts going up there every afternoon and night. The recorded interviews, the shows, everything's up at youtube.com/@The Fan Milwaukee. Use that @ symbol. Come watch my big head over here on the screen. Frozen Mountain Dew update coming up in the next commercial break. We put it out there at 250. It's been in my freezer probably for like a month, and we just discovered it. So now we're going to see how long it takes to thaw out in this 96-degree heat outside that we have.
Unless it gets swept up in some kind of storm here.
No, we'll pull it in before all hell breaks loose outside. No. I don't want to go rolling away.
Very important.
I want to drink that thing when it's. This is about me wanting to drink that Mountain Dew, but we're using it as a little YouTube experiment so everybody can see on TV how frozen it was, and we'll check in again in the next commercial break. All right, go ahead.
When I look at this situation, I do agree with you. I don't think that responding to what the owners were doing with the same exact thing is the right response. That's not how you should go about this, and I do feel like that this is some kind of collusion. I also feel like the players have more reason to collude than maybe the owners do. I think the owners are in control of the money. They're the ones that decide where this money goes. They're the ones that have the money. And I think a lot of the times they are lowballing a lot of players that probably deserve more money. Now, again, at the same time, I don't think players should go about it this way. I've always been a big fan of just guaranteeing every contract in NFL. This is one of the most physical sports that have some of the most detrimental factors post-play of any sport. And to fully guarantee these players' contracts that aren't making as much money as two of the other pro sports in Major League Sports.
So you're mad at the CBA?
I am. I think
that's too bad. Then negotiate the next CBA. These guys, this players' union, already negotiated the CBA that we're in right now. You have a problem with the CBA being screwed up for the entirety of the NFL. Well, go take that up with all the players' union chiefs that sucked. That isn't the owner's problem right now. That's not what's going on.
But the players have to bring it up now. You can't just
bring it up in the next CBA.
You can't just wait till the last second. You have to start fighting for these things now, Sparky. Okay. You know that as well as anybody else.
Sounds good. Don't come crying to me when Belton doesn't play this year.
I'm not.
Because if I'm the Packers, no, dog. We've been increasing this incrementally. You don't like it? Watch. And the same thing with Shamar Stewart for the Bengals or anybody else. You want to try and take a stance and be tough guy? Take a stance and be tough guy and don't play in the NFL. Good luck to you. Because these owners aren't idiots either. Anybody can see what the agents are trying to do and where they're trying to go. And if I'm the owners, it's simple. When the CBA comes up, we can have the conversation. Until then, that's not how the CBA is written, and we're going to continue with business as usual.
And the players will say, okay, until then, we're not going to play for you, and you are going to have to find scrubs.
No chance.
That's the whole second-round draft class right now isn't playing.
Great.
Sparky.
Do you think Patrick Mahomes cares about a second-round pick?
Yeah, probably. 33% of second-round picks end up being starting caliber players in the NFL, Sparky. The Chiefs are one of the teams that rely on guys in the second and third round the most out of any team.
Do you think Patrick Mahomes is going to give up his salary to help a second-round pick out and walk out? And you think they're going to strike over second-round picks?
Tom Brady did plenty of times.
Tom Brady never struck. Tom Brady never walked out and said, I'm not playing for the Patriots.
Tom Brady changed his contract and adjusted his contract plenty of times to help the team get other players and keep other players around.
That's wonderful. That's not what we're talking about. You're talking about a strike. You're talking about guys refusing to play to get fully guaranteed money for second-round picks. There is 0.0000 chance that any vet in this league is walking out for a second-round pick. No chance.
I never said the full league would. I said these players aren't going to play.
And this league will not care. They'll continue to move on. They will not care. Guarantee you, they will not care. This league was good last year without those guys, and this league will be watched just as much.
They did not have 28 players sit out last year because they didn't get guaranteed contracts.
So you're telling me if these 28 guys don't report, you think TV ratings will be affected? Do you think ticket sales will be affected? No. Nobody will care. Fans will watch, those guys will be forgotten about, and will move on with their lives, and nobody will talk about it. That'll be how it is. But if they want to play tough guys and try and do this, Godspeed, you're going to lose. That's all I'm saying. And again, don't come at me with, we think the owners are working together. Well, of course. And the agents are working together too. That's clear as day as well. So if you're going to be mad at one, be mad at the other. They're both trying to do the same thing, which is make money. It's the same thing that everybody else does in life. Everybody's trying to make the most money they can at the end of the day. All right, take a quick time out. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the 1250 AM at 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Charlie Sounds of the Day coming up here at 3:40. Coming up next here at 3:20, the MLB All-Star Game went to a swing-off last night. And there were some on social media that were all of a sudden going back to what happened in Milwaukee and Bud Selig changing it to having it mean home field advantage, meaning more for that game to be in that situation. And the game, in theory, was changed going forward because then you had to make sure you had guys for extra innings. You had to make sure you were going to be able to play this all the way through because you were possibly going to screw the NL representative or the AL representative in the World Series if you didn't do it that way. Now they got rid of it, means nothing, and we get the swing off. Do you want the MLB All-Star Game to be worth something again? Do you want it to go back to the way that Bud Selig set it up after the tie that happened at the All-Star Game? Nicolay Law Fan Talk, text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee. Time for your fan weather forecast right now, and it is hot outside still as we sit here right now. Now, my phone says showers in the vicinity, which means they must be closing in on us here in Hales Corners. 86 degrees. Again, showers, thunderstorms headed this way. Real feel of 93. More rain ahead as well for the next couple hours, it looks like, too. So, again, stay safe as these thunderstorms come rolling through here in southeastern Wisconsin. Welcome back, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. See Sparky Fifer here, Charlie Usen over there. Charlie Sounds of the Day come up here in about 10, 15 minutes from right now. We're going to talk about this MLB All-Star game as well. But first, we have to make our check. So earlier in the show, I realized that I had a Mountain Dew that apparently had been in the freezer of my refrigerator in my office. I have no idea how long it's been in there. I don't remember putting it in there, Charlie, to be honest with you. It could have been in there for months.
I would believe it, considering you never remember when you put them in there.
I don't remember even buying a Mountain Dew lately. Like, I couldn't. So, anyways, from that perspective, I found it. So then we brought it back in here at 2:50. We showed everybody on YouTube TV, where you can watch our on YouTube with @TheFanMilwaukee. Use that @ symbol if you want to watch us live streaming. And show everybody it's frozen. And I said at this break, Charlie will go outside. So go see what we got. And Charlie's going to bring it inside. We'll hold it up, and we'll see if this thing is unfrozen. The goal here is I'd like to drink it before the storms get here. And it already says that the storms are in the vicinity of where we are in Hales Corners. So I'm hoping in the night, well, it says real feel of like 95 or 96 degrees, that being out there for, it's been a half hour. Being out there for a half hour, maybe, that we're at a situation where maybe I can actually drink this Mountain Dew at this point, or how frozen really is it still? Oh, yes. See, look at that. You could actually, but the outside is enough to where you think I can drink this?
If you want to.
Charlie says if I want to. Yeah, okay. You think we could do it again? All right, here, go put it back out there. Let's see. Now watch. By the time we get back to it the next time, it'll be hot Mountain Dew. Right, and it's not going to matter. Or the winds will pick up and be rolling down like Grange Avenue in Hales Corners. All right, so we'll check back in on that in a little bit. The question is, do you want the MLB All-Star Game to be worth something like it used to be? Because as was being mentioned on the All-Star Game last night, something else that you Brewers fans did not like, and something else that did not bother me, like apparently it bothered fellow Brewers fans, which is them bringing up the tie in Milwaukee. What are we getting mad about? It happened. It's factual. Like, they ran out of pitchers. They stopped the game. I was there. The whole thing. Like, okay, sucks, but it happened. So that didn't bother me, like apparently it bothered a bunch of you. Then they get to the home run derby, the swing talked about in the first segment of the show. And there is a cross of who likes it and who doesn't. I saw one dude that I've known for a long time, Greg Geeson, who used to be at the Racine Journal-Times, and he called it video game BS, is what he called the swing off at the end of the game. Just hated it. Could not stand it. Didn't like it at all. And that's a big-time core baseball guy. Hated it 1,000%. And then I saw other people on social media saying, I'd rather have this mean something so we don't have to watch this again, kind of going forward. I'm split. I like the swing off, as I said earlier in the show. So I have no issue with the swing off. I loved the Schwarber moment. I think people will be talking about that forever. However, I don't have issue necessarily if they wanted this game to mean something again. Now, does the game have to mean something from the perspective of deciding World Series advantage one way or the other? Can it have some other type of different meaning at the end of the day? I don't know. But if we're going to go all in on the entertainment side, right? And we're going to get more into the Hank Aaron thing that they did at the All-Star game. But if you're going to do the Hank Aaron tribute, if you're going to do the stand-up for cancer in the stadium, which I thought was amazing, very well done. Everybody shut up. Everybody was standing and had signs of people. Freddie Peralta had Bob Uecker on his. I thought that was amazing. So if it's going to be full-on, this is going to be, entertainment for that night more than a baseball game. If that's what it is, then I'm fine with it. I have no issues whatsoever. Because you already have like 20 pitchers, according to reports, that said no for being in the All-Star game. My question would be, if this meant something, if this was to determine home field in the All-Star game or in the World Series, would pitchers from teams that are really good in the NL, would they have been turning down All-Star invites knowing that some lesser pitcher from some lesser team may go there and ruin their chances of possibly having home field advantage? Would Suarez in Philadelphia, Ranger Suarez, who according to Tom Verducci turned it down, would he have accepted it, knowing that, hey man, I don't want anybody else to screw this up. We got a good enough team. We might be in the damn World Series. I want to go and pitch and make sure we have every opportunity. Do you have less people turning down the invite if it means them having home field in the All-Star game? Do the managers manage differently? My answer to that is yes, they do. Dave Roberts does not blow through every pitcher on his staff. That Padres pitcher threw to one guy, walked him, and out he came. If that meant something, now maybe these starting pitchers are going 2 or 3 innings. And he's holding 3 or 4 relievers on the back end and maybe a starter in case this thing goes extra innings like they've done in the past. Now, the negative part of that is that, yes, every pitcher may not pitch in the All-Star game. That very well may occur because you have to hold guys back. But you know what else that also means? These starters, the Aaron Judges, the Otanis, and those guys, that also should mean they're playing longer, right? They should be playing 6, 7 innings or whatever the case may be, and those reserves aren't playing nearly as much. And you're getting 3, 4 at-bats for these guys as you're trying to win this game. To me, if you did that, then you got something. If you said starters are playing at least 6 innings, the starting position players are all playing at least 6 innings, and we're going to let these starting pitchers go as long as the managers are fine with it, and the pitchers are going to go forward, and we're going to try and make this into a real damn game. That's what we're going to try and do. You're going to see at least 3 at-bats. You're going to see at least 3 at-bats from Aaron Judge. You're going to see at least 3 at-bats from Shohei Ohtani. And 3 at-bats from Cal Raleigh, the catcher for the Mariners that leads the big leagues in home runs at the break with 38 or whatever it is. You're going to see at least 3 at-bats. Don't you think more people are going to sit in front of their TV and watch if I know I'm going to see the best of the best playing for that long against the best of the best pitchers at the same time? Another point of contention to the whole entertainment thing. They let Clayton Kershaw pitch in this baseball game. Clayton Kershaw didn't deserve to pitch in this game any more than anybody, than Mizorowski or whatever else. Kershaw got to play because they have the Legends Clause or whatever, to where you can honor one old-time guy that's been really good in Major League Baseball over the course of time and let him come back and participate in the All-Star game. They mic'd up Clayton Kershaw. It was really cool. It's all over social media. A couple of minutes of Kershaw talking to the booth and reacting to guys making sliding catches and all that stuff. And it was nice and it was cool and all that at the end of the day. But you're not taking it seriously by doing that. Right? You're not taking it seriously. So why not just decide which way you're going to go? And if you're going to go the way of we're going all in entertainment-wise, then you can really have a lot more fun and open yourself up to some cool stuff. Which is fine if that's the way you want to go. But if you want it to mean something, I think you have to play for something you get. What say you? Nicolay Law Fan Talk at text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee. Stream us on the Odyssey app. And don't forget all of our shows turn into podcasts. Take all the commercials out. It's just all the show segments all put together as one. You can download that on your iHeart app, your Odyssey app, your TuneIn app, wherever you download your favorite podcast. Apple, you name it, we're there. Check out the Pack a Day Radio Show, the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, brought to you by Verizon. This show, Wisconsin Sports Daily, brought to you by Wendy's. The Leadoff Show, 1 hour before every Brewers game, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Wisconsin Sports Weekend, Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 with Charlie Usen and Jack Pembroke. You can check out that show as well. And they're all streamed on YouTube as well at The Fan Milwaukee. Charlie, what say you? Do you want to see this thing mean something again with the idea that, you know, the starters like Judge and Ohtani are going to play like 7 innings, and the starters may go 3 or 4 innings, and then another starter may come in and go 2 or 3 or 4 innings, and then maybe you see a couple closers at the backside with another starter or 2 and a couple more relievers maybe not going to play unless it goes to extra innings.
I think I do want to see this mean something in the future again. When I look at the way that guys just treat all-star games across all these sports, I think we're starting to get to a point here where the rewards and the glory of being an all-star in your respective sport does not match making sure that you guarantee you get enough money later on in your career. And I think a lot of these guys maybe not being worried about being injured in the All-Star game, more so as just not wanting to get embarrassed in the All-Star game, not wanting to be in your one All-Star game and then not play at all if you're one of these relief pitchers that don't get in, and just kind of wasting your time for nothing. And I don't think that making it worth home field advantage in the World Series or something is really worth it at this point to a lot of these players. I think a lot of these guys probably look at their own teams and say, you know what? I can't make it to the World Series with the current team that I'm on right now. What's the point of playing for that in this future? I think you have to make the reward or whatever it is that you're making these All-Star games worth mean something for the player's career again. Right now, being an All-Star doesn't mean anything or as much as it did 10 years ago.
That's why you got like 20 guys turning down going.
In a Pro Bowl.
They had 80 All-Stars. 80!
Nobody cares about being a Pro Bowler anymore. Nobody really cares
no more a Pro Bowl, so it makes sense.
About being an NBA All-Star. You have to make this matter for their careers as well. And the idea I was saying is that if you're a one-time All-Star, you're guaranteed a higher minimum than maybe a non-zero-time All-Star later on in your career when you get a contract. If you're a two-time All-Star, you get an even higher minimum contract later on in your career. Three-time All-Star, so on and so on. Make it matter to their contracts
so it
as well.
Up depending on how many times you're in it.
Exactly.
But you have to play in the game then.
You have to play in the game.
Right. It cannot be we're not playing in the game and we're still going to get the bonus. Because so many times that's exactly what happens where guys don't play in the game. And then all of a sudden, they still get the bonus because they're on the roster. How many times in the NFL did that happen? Right? A quarterback gets named, and all of a sudden, no, man, I don't want to do that. I'd rather sit out and hang out that way. And then they still get that bonus because they were named to the Pro Bowl. That's the part that they have to figure out and try and get to the other side of at this point. At the same time, we talked about the CBA earlier in football. This has to be negotiated in the CBA if you're going to say, in order to get that bonus, you have to play in the game. That's the only way it's going to work. Because right now, the way it states, you just have to be named to the All-Star team to get the bonus. And if you look at what the Phillies did, that's dangerous, by the way, what the Phillies did. The Phillies said to Chris Suarez, hey, man, we know you didn't make it, but we're going to give you the $50,000 bonus that was in your contract, even though you didn't make it. That's a dangerous precedent to set kind of going forward because now you're going to have, we'll see if I'm right on this, I think you're going to have guys saying, hey, man, my numbers are good enough. I should have been in the All-Star game, right? You should give me $50,000 like Phillies gave Suarez $50,000. It's not my fault they didn't put me in and they put somebody else in. Like, I should still get my money. I understand what Philly did, right? It was a classy move. They did the right thing by hooking a guy up that definitely deserved to be there. So I applaud that. That's cool. But as we know, it's a copycat situation. And people are going to try and take advantage of that situation like the Phillies did with Chris Suarez for sure. Coming up on the other side, we'll get to Charlie's Sounds of the Day, baby. You love Taki Fuego chips? Listen up, because you've never had them like this. Wendy's new Taki Fuego meals are here. Sammy has a Taki Fuego chip intensity you love piled up on one of our favorite spicy chicken sandwiches with Taki Fuego chips, chili lime sauce, and creamy corn spread. The small Fuego fries get tossed in an intense chili lime seasoning. Sounds like the meal couldn't take any more Taki Fuego chip intensity. That's where the extra 1-ounce bag of Taki Fuego chips on the side comes in. Well, while supplies last. You can grab this Taki Fuego meal at midnight or later. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Coming up on the other side, like I said, Charlie Sounds today. Top 3 sound clips from around the world of sports. Always, well, it's not always fun for me. Sometimes he gets me mad, but always entertaining if nothing else. Straight ahead, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here. Welcome back. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. How are we doing here as we get ready for the weather to come storming in here? And we'll see how this whole thing plays out. Again, everybody stay safe for sure. Take cover if need be. I know there are some tornado warnings right now in Jefferson and Dodge County. So, again, take shelter if need be. We've had those automated alarms going on over the airwaves. And right now, if you are listening to us, you are probably listening to us on 105.7 because the 1250 part of us is off the air. See, this is the benefit, Charlie, of having two, right? So 1250, we're having some issues with 1250. No problem. You switch over to 105.7 and presto, you got us on 105.7.
And still on YouTube.
And still on YouTube as well, or streaming on your Odyssey app. You can get us there too, AUDACY. It's free there. YouTube, all you got to do is go to @TheFanMilwaukee. @TheFanMilwaukee. Use that @ symbol, The Fan Milwaukee. All right, Charlie. Time for our, not our, your favorite segment of the day. It is my favorite segment of the day. On days when I'm not seething mad by the end of it. But here we go.
1, 2, 3. What sound clips will Chicago Charlie pick today for Sparky? Will Sparky become enraged? Will laughter ensue? It's time for Charlie's Sound of the Day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's on The Fan.
All right, here we go. What say you, Charlie? Which way are we going here?
All right, first up, we're going to hear from former MLB player and MLB Hall of Famer and now MLB analyst John Smoltz discussing the grim future of the generational starting pitcher in Major League Baseball.
Mark my words, I'll give it 3 years. When the generational 3-year pitchers, the great guys that we know are going to call it career here in the next 3 years, you're never going to see them again. The Verlanders, the Kershaws, Adam Wainwright just retired. You're never going to see Charlie Morton. You're never going to see Zach Wheeler. Like, that to me should be the narrative that organizations are going, man, we got to find a way to reverse this narrative because that commodity is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and we're going to have to replace it more and more.
How you do that? Oh. I mean, it's nice to say that, but do we have a magic solution of how that's going to happen, Charlie?
If you wait for my second clip, somebody might.
Okay. I see. This is something I didn't know was happening. As I've said it before, I never know the 3 clips. I just react to what he plays. We have a solution? Play the solution.
This is Mark DeRosa, also an MLB analyst and former MLB player, discussing how to revive the starting pitcher.
What would you do to sort of make sure starting pitching and starting pitching matchups were a bigger part of the game?
Yeah, you know what? This is a bigger question. This is a full show because this is leaking down all the way into the youth. I just think there's got to be something in place. I don't know if it's a rule. The way I watch the game is I pick out who the best starting pitching matchup is that night, and that's where I'm fixated at. I don't get overrun with guys who are going to go 4 or 5 innings, and then they're just going to start rolling the bullpen in there. So for me, it's what the industry is valuing right now. Missing bats is kind of leaking down into the minor leagues, how they're being developed, and it's leaking into college and all the way into youth baseball. It's what these kids are chasing. I'm immersed. I have a 15-year-old son. They're chasing lighting up the radar gun. They're chasing exit velo, even if it's not a hit. So I just think organizations have to start valuing efficiency, certainly stuff, but the ability to pitch and be willing to let these guys go through the lineup, not only twice, but some of them maybe a third time, and not be so fixated on a pitch count.
No. Okay. I'll give you some of my life experience. Okay. We just got done playing 9U baseball, my kid. And they're having tryouts for 10U baseball tonight. On his 8U team, the coach of that team, you remember this? He had velo numbers that he would send out to the parents for their kids. Pitching velo, exit velo for hitting. And he would do it every month, every 2 months in the wintertime to see how you're improving. And good news, most of the kids, pitching velocity went up from where it was when we started in November to where it was when spring training got here. Exit velocity, a lot of these kids went up from where it was to where it ended going into the spring before that season started at 8U. But he was doing it at 8U, man. Now, the coach I had this year, we didn't do any exit velocities, nothing. Nothing of the sort, right? We didn't have any of that. He didn't care. It wasn't a big deal. But you do have coaches at the younger levels that are tracking that. And then what happens? And you don't even need a radar gun for what I'm about to say. You have coaches that'll say, okay, 3 hardest kids that throw the hardest, you're starting. You're our 3 starting pitchers. Not that you maybe have the control as everybody else, but you throw the hardest, so you have the best chance of striking kids out, so you're going to be the starters. That was DeRosa, right?
That was DeRosa, yes.
DeRosa's talk about chasing after the swing and miss. Duh. Shouldn't be that what they're chasing, right? Isn't it easier to get somebody out if they don't make contact with the ball versus if they hit a ground ball or if they hit a fly ball? If I strike them out, I don't got to worry about my defense making a mistake behind me. If you're a baseball player, just make contact. Something good might happen, right? Run hard. There's no guarantee the guy's going to make a good throw. No guarantee the guy's going to field the ball without bobbling it or going through his legs or whatever. Make contact. Well, if I got guys that are striking out, 9, 10 guys a game, that takes those odds and puts it back in my favor. Then the idea of, well, go 3-4 times through the lineup. That has nothing to do with the actual pitcher himself. That has to do with advanced analytics in baseball. The nerd stats, as some of you like to say. And the nerd stats say guys get hammered the 3rd time through the lineup, whether they're strike throwing or they're contact or whatever, that these hitters aren't stupid and they make adjustments and they hit guys the 3rd time through. They're getting pulled through 5 because of what the numbers say. You're not going to change that. That's not going to change. We're past that. That's why I said, how are you going to fix it? I don't see how you fix it, Charlie. I don't.
You don't fix it by reverting back to what worked at one point.
Correct.
You just can't do that. I understand that guys like Dallas Keuchel and guys like James Shields made a ton of money and won awards off being ground ball pitchers in the prime of their career. But those guys also weren't the most popular style of pitcher at that point. That was still out of date when those guys were throwing that type of style there. I think you want to, yes, look at all the different injuries across these pitchers in these leagues and say that without them trying to go for that swing and miss style of contact, yes, maybe they'll last longer in games because guys won't be able to see as many pitches because they're going to be swinging so early in the at-bats. Sure, that's fine. But that's just not what we're getting right now. Guys want to throw 102 miles per hour. Kids are training to throw 102 miles per hour
Brewers
at some point in
fans,
their career.
Kids in Milwaukee watching Mizorowski pitch, you don't think they all don't want to throw 102 miles an hour right now?
I would love to, man, if I was that age and still wanted to be training for baseball.
Yes.
That's what I would be looking up to. And right now, you can't say to all these kids across the entire world, not just the United States, but the entire world, hey, stop that. Focus on trying to get guys to make weak contact.
Right.
That's dumb. They don't want to do that.
Pitch to contact. That's what we want to see you do.
Which is maybe right. Maybe he's right. Maybe DeRosa is saying that would make guys last longer in these games. I think it would, because once you get to that 3rd time through the lineup, a guy seeing only 3 pitches from you versus 8 pitches from you is a big difference. And he will be able to see those pitches easier that 3rd time through. But also, that's just not what we're seeing right now. We're also seeing a lot of great relief pitchers making a name for themselves in Major League Baseball each year.
What are they doing? They're all throwing hard, right? They're all throwing gas. They're all upper 90s. That's what you're seeing when you come into games. Look at the Brewers, Uribe, McGill. These guys all throw hard.
I mean, this is what the game is now, and you can't focus on trying to take it out of that. You have to focus on saying, you know what, this is what's happening. How do we make adjustments now to what's happening in order to keep these guys healthier? And not saying this is dumb, this isn't how they're supposed to be doing it, this is all wrong, we need them to go back, that's how we're going to fix it. It's not going to happen. You have to start growing with them.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, 3rd clip.
All right, and last up here, this is Rasheed Walker, the current starting left tackle of the Green Bay Packers. He was on Good Morning Football yesterday, and he was responding to Caleb Williams and the Packers hate tour he's been on so far this offseason.
At the end of last season, the Bears won in Lambeau, and I don't know if it's gotten back to you, but Caleb Williams, our young quarterback, has said a few times this offseason that he is undefeated in Lambeau Field, and he's pretty pleased with that. What's it like to hear that, and what do you guys do about it?
Hey, man. He got lucky. But
What do you mean?
he got lucky. You know what I'm saying? Make the playoffs.
Tell us more, Rashid.
He doesn't want to. He said he got lucky.
Look.
Hey, he's saying a lot without saying nothing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say. You know what I'm saying? They got lucky, make the playoffs, and we're going to see him again this year, and we're going to remember he said that.
So I was on the score today with, who is it, Marshall and Layla Rahimi or whatever her name is on there, Layla Rahimi. And they play the highlight, hitting the field goal, whatever, come out, and they want to talk about it with me. I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't remember.
I can play it for you again if you don't remember.
So then they asked me something else, and I was like, listen, I'm 49 years old. I have a horrible memory. I don't know what happened last year. I don't remember anything. What are we going to talk about today or whatever else? So that was the end of that conversation. I crushed that, and then we moved on to the rest of the conversation. It was fun. It was a fun interview. Go to your Odyssey app, 670 The Score. You can go back and listen to that as well. But yeah, I think he handled that the correct way, right? They got lucky. Whatever the case may be.
Man.
Can somebody tell me why he was on the show to begin with?
I have no idea. That's what I was really confused about. I'm like, he's not
Did
Zach
they book
Tom.
him just because he was the one guy that said he'd go on that show with the pro bear lover on that show? I mean, you should have known going on that show with that dude, Kyle Brandt, that you were going to get that crap thrown at you.
Probably, but it just seems weird that it was him because like Josh Jacobs and Keyshawn Nixon love going on all these shows. Jordan Love even loves going on these shows all the time. Why Rasheed Walker, a guy that may get replaced this season if the second round pick actually signs his contract? I mean, it's kind of crazy.
I have no idea. I haven't watched that show. What's dude's name that's on ESPN now? That was on Good Morning Football, and he left. Peter Schrager. So Peter Schrager, when Schrager left there, I haven't watched it since.
It's still pretty good. I like Kyle Brandt a lot.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'm sure you do. He's a Bears fan like you. I haven't turned it on since Schrager left. I think I watched it once, and I don't think I've turned it back on since. I'm sure it's still probably relatively good. I'm just saying, since Schrager left, I haven't watched it as much. Just because I respect Schrager for being super connected in the league. Even though I may not agree with his opinions, he's super connected, and that I know for sure. So at least you got to listen to what he's got to say of how people are being viewed around the National Football League. All right, so that was Charlie's Sounds of the Day. If you want good sound on your cell phone, US Cellular is the way to go. I've had them for over a decade, and we're talking about great customer service. I've never had issues with a bill. I had one issue with the phone. They just swapped it out. Problem solved. We moved on. I've added numerous lines to my plan over the course of time for the kids and Kay and whoever else. Like, never, ever have had an issue or a dispute over a bill. And when I do have a question, they bring me in, they print it out, they show me. It's like, oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. And we move on. Like, I've never, ever have gotten mad at these guys. So that is why I have US Cellular. That's why you should switch to US Cellular. Today is the last day of Us Days going on right now. Their exclusive event to celebrate loyal customers. Unique offers, too. This includes big discounts on new phones and tablets, plus other giveaways and events. They've had parking lot parties going on, whole deal, all the way from June 12th to today. Today is the last day, uscellularparty.com. Now, maybe you didn't get to a party, you got family, you're busy, whatever. I get it. Same way. All you got to do, go to that US Cellular store today. You got time. Most of these guys, those stores don't close till like 8 or 9 o'clock. Go to your US Cellular store, find out what the best upgrade offers you can get right now are, or go on the US Cellular website and find out your best offer too. Again, Us Days ends today. Today is the last day to take advantage of Us Days. Coming up next, our Green and Gold update brought to you by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the 1250 AM at 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here.